Shalom, Call Halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachakodash. Give honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that teach the truth and rule well by spirits of power that be. Or Barakatham to the Holy Leg. This is Brother Gabar, and I'm back with another lesson. Lord's will to edify the body of Yahushai, the elect. Alright, I'm going to dive straight in. This is going to be over you walking this path by yourself. Alright. You walking this path by yourself. We got brothers around us and stuff, but we're not going to be delivered off another man's work or anything. You got to make your own videos. You know, you got to suffer your own sufferings. All right. So Lord's will, this edify. I'm just going to dive into a few things. And that's pretty much it. Straight to the point. Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Yeah, so we're working out our own salvation with fear and trembling. And the key word there is your own, not anybody else's, right? And on this path, it's straight and it's narrow. Imagine like a road compared to like a sidewalk, So you walking this thing on your own, man. You're going to go through your own, phases, right? And that's just how it is. The whole world is on that broad path. All of them are on there. That's their lane. And they're accepted there. Because anything can happen there. Everything's, what's the word I'm looking for? I forgot the word, but basically anything flies there. People can be homo or whatever, trans, whatever, labeled an animal, be a Edomite, Israelite, Hamite, it don't matter, Ammonite. They could be whatever, and they all just getting along and whatever, man. But we on a different path. We're not in the world, all right. So it's gonna be different, right? And this path is made for few. The world to come is made for few, right? So knowing that you're on a different path, you're gonna lose those friends and family. Like the saying they got, I seen it before. I believe I seen it on Instagram that the truth turns strangers to family and family to strangers, and that's true, But man, you can't try to get off on somebody else's work. You're not gonna get on the chariots on somebody else's work. You gotta do the work. You have to fear the Lord. Just because somebody else is don't mean that you're going to, right? Just because you with brothers that are sincere and they doing this and that don't mean that you're gonna be saved, man. So you need to make sure you're working out your own salvation, man. You doing what you're supposed to be doing, multiplying your talents, man. Because you walking this thing by yourself, all right? And it can get, it is serious, and it's deadly. You don't want it to be detrimental to your life. You want to make sure that everything's on point, man. All right, let's jump to another scripture, man. So yeah, you by yourself in this thing. You working out your own salvation, not you and then your homeboy. You working out this in the world. Nah, it don't work like that. Everybody's working out their own, all right? 2 Ezra 7:7. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water. It's speaking about the path that we're on, right? The path to the kingdom. It says, and only one, it's like in one only path between them both, right? Between that tribulation, between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. Exactly. So the path is so slim, that only one person can enter at a time. We're not even shoulder to shoulder with nobody, so you're walking this thing completely alone. Now you can be in a congregation of brothers or whatever, but ultimately you walking alone, man. What they do, the Lord isn't going to have mercy on you because another brother put up a lesson. Nah, man, what are you doing? Are you fearing him? Are you maintaining your integrity? That's what he's looking for. All right. So really, the main thing I really want to touch on in this lesson that you walking by yourself, man, and you got to work out your own salvation. I probably just label it that, real quick. Lesson just you working out your own salvation, not anybody else working it out for you. All right, or you working out somebody else's. It just don't work like that. You walking alone, man, and it can be very uncomfortable at different times, because hey, it's real slim, and then you got fire and water on each side. That's why we have to walk circumspectly. You got fire on one side, water on the other side. Either one, you could drown, you could burn up. So you got to be very, very careful. Okay, and ultimately, this narrow path and dangerous path is taking us to the kingdom of heaven, man. Read that in 2 Ezra 7. All right, but once again, let's go to one more scripture. Matthew 7:13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Yeah, so everybody, most people, that whole wave, right? The wave compared to that drop. The drop is the remnant, the elect that will be saved. And that wave is everybody in the world, that's going to be destroyed. That wave is on that broad path, right? And that's the path to destruction. All those things is going on the broad path, all those abominable acts, the pride and everything, it's all going to destruction. The blind leading the blind, man. Okay? That's why we on the straight gate, because this path leads to salvation. It doesn't lead to destruction, but we got to continue to walk it. When we don't see the path sometime, you got to have that faith to keep on walking, that he going to create a path, right? You're going to have to take leaps of faith, it's going to be a lot of different stuff to happen, man, to test you and to prepare you for what we're about to go through. But as well, hey, this ain't the broad path, man. Not everybody on this way. It could just be you out of your whole family, man. And you got to be okay with that. Whatever Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua set up, that's what you got to be rocking with. Okay? His will above ours, man. Now let's go to the next verse. Matthew 7:14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Exactly. That's the few. What they got, what does it say? The few, this world was made for many. Let me get that, because that's the broad. This is 2 Ezra, I believe, 2 Ezra 8:1. It says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many. That's the broad path. That's what everybody's on, man. And they're real comfortable on that path. All right. It's going to destruction, though. They just can't see it. This world for many, but the world to come for few. Exactly. So the world to come is for that few, man. And that few is on this straight gate, on this path. And that's the path that we're on. So we have a good chance of being a part of that few, man. We just got to stay on this path. Though, you can feel, you could feel lonely at times or whatever. Hey, don't worry about it, man. Just keep on pushing. Just keep on walking. Keep on running this race. All right. And that's basically all the scriptures I'm pulling for this thing, man. This lesson, I just wanted to get that out. That you on this thing, you walking this path, you running this race by yourself, man. All right. Nobody's there with you, holding your hand, or nothing. Now, don't get it twisted. You had Yahweh Shai even, a man by the name of Simon, helped, I believe his name was Simon. He helped Yahweh Shai carry his cross, so we're going to have moments like that as well, but ultimately, you're not getting salvation through nobody, man. All right. You got to work out your own salvation. Okay. And also, that broad path is going to destruction anyway. And everybody that's on there, that whole wave, they're not getting saved, man. That few is getting saved. The few people that are on this path. So you need to stick to this path, man. This is what leads us unto life. This is where salvation is at the end of this thing, man. Our crowns are at the end of this thing, man. All right. The fulfillment of our faith entirely, man, is Yahushua's coming. And that's at the end of this path. All right. And their destruction, is hey, really their destruction is Yahushua's coming as well, that balance he's bringing, that sword. But anyway, man, I just wanted to get that out. Lord's will, this is edifying. All right, make sure you working out your own salvation, man, because you're not getting it through nobody else. And stay on this path. Until last time, I'm gonna say, call halal, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rachakodash. Until next time, come Shalom.